Good evening. Now a good time? Good evening. Is it loud?
She might have muted it.
Oh, good evening. Before we get started, I ask one request, that as our graduates march in, we stay seated so that all the families can take pictures of their graduates as they march in. When they walk out, giddy up.
Please rise for the singing of our national anthem by the Camden Hills Chamber Singers.
Our chamber singers do it to me every time. One more round of applause for our amazing, talented singers. Good evening. My name is Jen Curtis, and as principal of Camden Hills Regional High School, I extend a warm welcome to friends and family, community members, proud parents and grandparents, and above all, the remarkable class of 2025. By far, that's my favorite part. With any graduation speech, I enjoy drawing inspiration from our seniors, and this year is no different. Tonight, I want to celebrate the class of 2025 and also honor the 25th anniversary of Camden Hills Regional High School, a silver milestone for our school, a golden moment for our graduates. Now let me take you back in time to 25 years ago, when a phone call from Rockport to Appleton was considered long distance. That's right, graduates. Talking to someone 10 miles away actually cost you money. From dial-up tones to TikTok, from folding maps in the glove compartment to arguing with Siri that there is no way the shortest route involves a dirt road. We've seen technology and the world change dramatically. But through all that change, one thing has remained constant: the strength, vision, and wisdom of our 5 towns: Appleton, Hope, Lincolnville, Camden, and Rockport, who chose to unite and build something greater together. And tonight, we see the result of that decision reflected in you, the class of 2025. Together, there is no doubt we are stronger. If this school's silver anniversary needed a class to represent it, it would be you. You entered Camden Hills in the final stages of deep disruption, when hallways were half full and outdoor learning provided relief from masks. You didn't wait for things to return to normal. You became the steady hands that helped shape what we started calling our new normal. You brought exactly what this school needed: quiet strength, steady presence, and the kind of attitude John Wooden, legendary coach and educator, would have been proud of. He once said, "Things turn out best for the people who make the best of the way things turn out." And that's exactly what you did. Your greatest asset wasn't just your talent. It was how you responded to life. The leadership you modeled didn't always make headlines, but it made a difference. Leadership that showed up for one another. You welcomed others genuinely, not performatively. You smiled when it mattered. You offered those quiet nods of confidence when someone else just needed a little boost. Sure, there are standout athletes, artists, and academic high flyers in this class, that is without a doubt. But what fills me with pride is that you didn't take the loudest path. You stayed true to who you are. You led with your actions, not your volume. Here are some of those actions. Anya and Charlotte made sure every single student had a place in the yearbook, not just a photo, but a moment of belonging. They reminded us it's about we, not me. Rose, whose speech tonight will feature more words than she's spoken aloud to me in the past 4 years combined. She reminds us that the most powerful voices don't always seek the stage. Tessa, Matilda, and Kelsey pulled off the Bisbee Bonanza with spreadsheets, lots of them, negotiation, and vision. They didn't just plan a trip. They gave every classmate one more memory, one shared laugh. Lindsay took a plain, overlooked closet and transformed it with her artistic talents into a dignity-centered snack pantry. A beautiful act of care. Tegwin earned national distinction with the Seal of Biliteracy in both Spanish and French, a first for our Chills community. Ollie attended a school board meeting, not for recognition, but to express gratitude for the French exchange. Having joined the trip last minute and speaking zero French, he was touched by the life-changing experience, lasting friendships, and a new appreciation for learning. Dozens of you are graduating with full tuition scholarships. That's not just financial aid. That's a vote of confidence in your future. Stas, with his quiet steadiness and tender smile, saw a need in his home country of Ukraine, and suddenly we saw it too. Through his presence, his story, and his heart, he made us care as if it were our own hometown in need. Multiple fundraisers followed, raising thousands of dollars. He reminds us that compassion isn't just a feeling, it's choosing to act, to give, to rebuild together. That kind of leadership, humble, consistent, quietly bold, is what strengthens communities, our five-town community. Graduates, as you step into what's next, college, career, service, or something still forming, stay true to how you've led up to this point. Keep showing up with quiet confidence and carry forward the attitude that brought you here, the one that made the best of what came your way. And when your plans go sideways or Siri suddenly says recalculating, keep taking that detour and lean right into it. Or maybe grab that map in the glove compartment. You'll probably need to ask your parents or grandparents. But above all, the one thing I'm going to say, call your family. Long-distance calls are free, so no excuses. So congratulations, class of 2025. You have been absolutely gold in a silver year. You've made Camden Hills, most definitely your principal, and your entire community proud. Thank you.
Good evening, teachers, administrators, friends, and family. Thank you so much for coming to celebrate with us. My name is Charlotte Delahaye, and I have the honor to address you for the final time as the Camden Hills 2025 Senior Class President. To my amazing peers behind me, congratulations. If you know me even slightly, you won't be surprised to hear that I've been thinking about this day and this speech for quite some time now. But when the moment finally arrived to pause and reflect on our 4 years, I found myself unprepared. Strange, considering I've spent the entire year helping plan this very week. I was so focused on what lies ahead, I forgot so much as to glance behind. Then, the memories came rushing in. Snapshots of moments, big and small, now framed together into a chapter that we wrote side by side. We are a mosaic of personalities, shaped by communities scattered along the mid-coast. A masterpiece in motion, made of scholars, state champions, artists, and leaders. Each of us brings something unique, our own story, our own color, our own shape, that complements those around us. And it's in this beautiful chaos that we find our excellence. Within the past few weeks, I have been struck most by how our excellence is not necessarily defined by a collective character, but by the strength of our individual identities, each driven by personal passion, yet united through the desire to make a difference. I think of Charlie Conover, working to restore Curtis Island. I think of Lulu Van Lonkhuizen's voice as a member of Maine Youth Power, aiming to advocate and educate. I think of our school leaders, like Matilda Schroeder, and avid volunteers like Hunter Beveridge, Reed Chester, and Charlie Nicolette, who spent a week in the Dominican Republic working in elementary classrooms. A.J. Collins and Nadir Fakak have worked tirelessly to bring the Strom to life. I think of Aiden Greeley, who won gold in first aid and CPR at Skills USA, having dedicated his time to a future in medicine. We have recognized as a class that leadership is not reserved for titles like captain or club president, but can be found in everyday choices to enhance our environment and support those around us. As individuals, we've taken care of something that matters deeply to us, our towns, our clubs, our teams, our peers, and that, more than any accolade, is what exemplifies the class of 2025. We are surrounded by people with distinct strengths, qualities worth noticing, learning from, and celebrating, because it's through one another that we grow. And that growth is exactly what the world requires. Now, as students and soon-to-be graduates, we have a new opportunity to take these values and pursue new goals. Success is always within your grasp, but must be defined on your own terms. I encourage you to listen thoughtfully, never leave a stone unturned, love loudly, and leave those you meet with more hope than before. You will be remembered for the type of person you are, just as our legacy at Camden Hills is one of individuality and service. Class of 2025, it has been a beautiful 4 years with you, and from the bottom of my heart, I wish you the very, very best. Thank you all for being here to celebrate the graduates and the journey that has brought us to this moment as we welcome the beginning of what comes next. Thank you.
Welcome, parents, teachers, staff, mentors, family, and friends, and thank you for being here today. It means so much to me and my fellow graduates to be surrounded by the people who have supported us over the journey of the past 4 years. Today isn't just a celebration of individual accomplishment. It's a moment we all share. Inside each of us is a whole world of unique traditions, memories, and experiences, personal hardships, embarrassments, and successes. We've all taken different paths, and yet today we stand here together, sharing this moment. And while each of our stories is different, there are some memories we carry together, moments that belong to this class and to these past 4 years. There was that strange March day in 9th grade when we could finally take off our masks and see each other's faces, not just the eyes we'd memorized. There was an afternoon stretched on the grass at a hatchery cookout, music blaring and nowhere else to be, and a middle-of-the-night fire alarm bringing us out into a hotel parking lot, blinking in the dark on our senior trip, tired but still laughing, followed by a day at Busch Gardens realizing that spinning teacups and heat waves don't mix. And just a few weeks ago, we scattered across our 5 towns, chasing each other with water guns, one last lighthearted rebellion before graduation. The mishaps, the awkwardness, the shared you had to be there moments. These are what weave our class together. 4 years, each its own season, cycles of beginnings and endings. Even as everything around us was changing, new classes, new friendships, new challenges, there was a rhythm to it all, and in that rhythm, there's a kind of comfort. Rachel Carson once wrote, "There is something infinitely healing in the repeated refrains of nature, the assurance that dawn comes after night and spring after winter." As we stand on the edge of this new beginning, it's reassuring to remember that change, though sometimes scary, is as natural as the seasons themselves. We've lived through our share of winters, literal and otherwise, but again and again, spring returned. We adapted, we showed up, and somehow, even in the chaos, we grew. Now we're standing at the end of high school, on the edge of a new beginning. And even if you've had your next step planned out for years, there's still uncertainty ahead. And that's real. We're leaving something familiar, a community we've all grown up in, and stepping into something that has yet to take shape. And we haven't, For me, that's both daunting and exciting, but there's the reminder that we've done this before. We've started new chapters, found our footing, and learned to laugh in unexpected places. We've already proven that we can move through the unknown and do it with grace, humor, and strength. And we haven't done it alone. There's a version of the hero's journey you may have heard. The lone warrior setting off into the unknown, doing battle, and returning triumphant. But there's another version, one I think fits us better. It's called the heroine's journey. Instead of one person battling through adversity alone, it's about a networked protagonist, someone who grows by connecting with others and lifting them up. That's who we are. We are solo adventurers, but we are also a class of teammates, collaborators, and community builders. For instance, this year, Sally Vanini and Raina Abbas led the girls' swim team to their 3rd state championship in 4 years, while the boys' soccer team earned the Class A title. Both teams driven by collective strength and trust in one another. We have Evan Constantine and Cameron Pinchbeck, who not only climb the peaks of Midcoast Maine, but help others reach the summit beside them, always making sure no one is left behind. We have Tessa Burns and Grace Westbrook, who have earned medical certifications that will help further their careers and save lives. And we have students who showed up in quiet ways, comforting someone through loss, staying late to help a teammate, or holding the group project together when everything else felt like it was falling apart. Our strength has always been in each other, and that's bigger than just this class. Look around you. This room is full of familiar faces and perfect strangers. But you've all shown up for someone you care about, and that's what human connection looks like. In a world that constantly pushes us to scroll, to rush, to tune out, connection is a choice. So here's a gentle reminder to us all. Look up. Ask someone how they're really doing. Be there. Because life isn't just made up of milestones, it's made of moments. Before we close, I want to say a few quick thank yous. To our teachers and staff, thank you for your mentorship, your patience, and especially your sense of humor. To our administrators, thank you for keeping things running, even when nothing was simple. To our cafeteria workers, bus drivers, custodians, and librarians, thank you for everything you do behind the scenes that make school possible. And to our families, thank you for being our foundation through these 4 years. Your love and support is at the center of it all. And lastly, to the class of 2025, thank you for sharing your stories with me and for being the kind of people who show up for one another. As we each head into our next season, whatever that may look like, let's carry this with us. Let's carry the team huddles, the cookouts, the late nights, and even the spinning teacups. Let's carry the resilience we earned and the community we built, and let's move forward not as lone heroes, but as people who know how to look to each other for connection and to lift each other up, even as we go our separate ways. Because the seasons will keep changing, the future will be uncertain, but if we've learned anything, it's that we are ready. We are the class of 2025. Thank you.
Good evening, class of 2025. In a few minutes, we will have graduated. This is our final class assembly. 4 years ago, all of us were in our 8th grade, whether that was in Camden, Rockport, Lincolnville, Appleton, St. George, Winterport, Northport, Dharmascotta, or Hope. The year had been largely composed of preparation for high school level classes and threats about what our high school teachers would and would not let slide. It was a little scary, being full of that anticipatory stress that you can't do anything about. However, I can speak for at least myself in saying that I was ready for Camden Hills Regional High School, full of people and experiences that felt so far removed from what school had consisted of for the past 9 years. Going from 170 people in a school to 170 people in our class alone was exciting. This year, right now, we are again branching out from a small school. For me, that means moving states and starting in a school with an undergraduate population of almost 7,000 students. For everyone in our class, it means moving from the miniature world of 800 into real life. A couple of weeks ago, I was writing this speech, sitting by Lake McGunnicook with my friends. I was brainstorming ideas for what I could say that wrapped up the past years of our lives while acknowledging that our paths were now diverging. It was hard to focus on a sunny 70-degree day that half convinced me that summer was already here. How could I possibly verbalize the impact Camden Hills has had on us, what we will take with us when we leave? But what this school has given us more than anything else is variety. Our class represents 3 seasons worth of sports teams, a multitude of clubs, and more classes than any single person could contemplate taking. For me, that has meant years playing basketball, building into a team that could make it to the Northern Final. It has meant getting the opportunity to take a 3-person calculus class because enough people had expressed interest. All of our classes and activities have given us the opportunity to develop in different ways, whether in being part of an organized defense or in working out that last math concept before midterms. Walking across this stage is not the result of achieving one path, but the culmination of many. After we leave this school, it will be up to us to go out and strive for the opportunities that we want or need, but this school has prepared us for whatever it is we want to reach for. Tonight, we are again full of anticipation as we head off to our new school, service, or new job. We are going off on our own, and I can't wait to see what we do next. Thank you.
is my distinct honor to introduce our guest speaker. Samantha Appleton is an award-winning photojournalist and former Nieman Fellow at Harvard. She has covered many of the most tumultuous events of the 21st century. Primary stories have included conflict in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Lebanon, social issues in Africa, and immigration issues in the United States. She was an official White House photographer for the Obama administration and co-founded the photo agency Noor Images to promote projects in support of human rights and social justice.
Good evening. What a privilege it is to be in this room with this class. This class, I don't say it lightly, this is an extraordinary group of people. Your teachers and your principal might not be able to say it, but I can say it. I've been watching you for a long time. And I've been watching you roving around town in packs this week, going swimming and taking prom pictures. And it's just so happy in this special week. Can we just bottle that kind of joy? It's infectious. Thank you to the senior leaders for asking me to speak to you tonight. Thank you to Jen Curtis for ushering these graduates through our wonderful school system. To the parents, I have an 11-year-old and I stand here humbled by what you've done. I thank you on behalf of the community. Your kids have scooped our ice cream, scanned our groceries, babysat our kids, and hauled the lobster that is Maine's pride around the world. Thank you for gifting the community with these incredible souls. You did it through a pandemic lockdown, through work, and through personal trials. I represent a lot of the Camden Hills area. I grew up here. Maria Libby actually taught me how to swim. I worked in my father's restaurant, the Waterfront, from the age of 13, and I've probably served nearly every adult in here at some point. I left for a long time working as a photojournalist in more than 60 countries, several wars, and photographing 4 sitting presidents. And then I returned. This place is in me, but I had to define what that meant. In this room of swirling thoughts and nervous excitement, we are an accordion of time, stretching and contracting, and meeting in this room in this singular moment in time. This school, this place is in all of us. There's also an 18-year-old in everyone here. That's the magic of graduation. It transports all of us through that accordion of time. Your parents may be thinking about your birth, or your first day of school, or their own high school graduation. Even the younger kids here are transporting because they're thinking, I can't wait to be like them. So instead of trying to just tell you what life is going to throw at you, I want to celebrate what it means to be this age. I want to speak to the universal 18-year-old in all of us and urge you to hold on to the best parts. This day is a barn door swinging wide open to possibility. When older people reminisce about being your age, what we really miss is the space to be anything, to meet anyone, and to try everything. So a day that may start without a plan can end with a lifelong memory and a new friend. Life is going to try to silo you. It can feel safer to be with people that are just like you, who do what you do, vote how you vote, live in the same size house that you live in. At 18, those walls haven't been built. So hold off those social expectations for as long as you can and stay open to people that you may not understand. Paraphrasing the historian David McCullough, everyone you meet knows something that you don't. At 18, that's assumed, but as we get older, we think we know everything we need to know. Spoiler, we don't. So embrace that openness. You are in control of so many new things in life starting today. It is thrilling. And it's a maze with unknown outcomes. With that adventure comes mistakes. You have to do your best to choose routes wisely and don't dwell on the wrong turns. If you hit a dead end in that maze, and you will, reroute and concentrate on what you got right. Another thing about that maze, it's so much better with groups. That's why live music is one of the greatest gifts in life. Do fun things in groups and do hard things with groups of people. Shared struggle forges deep friendship. Join things, serve others. Third spaces, things that you do outside of work and home, are important stuff that you already do at your age. But after today, none of that is required, so you have to build it yourself. Shared experience is a way to hold on to that 18-year-old for the rest of your life. And in shared struggle, you get to gift yourself to others. Get used to loving your sacred story and sharing it. Just as everyone knows something you don't, you know something that they don't. It's your story, and each of you will have to determine your own ethics as you move through the world. But if you remember that nearly everyone is well-intentioned, if maybe a little selfish, it will ease a lot of conflict in your life. I'm not sure I believe in fate, but I do believe that the framework for who you want to be is already there for you to climb and construct. My career started humbly, photographing flowers and my baby sister. I didn't get into my first choice college, but when I went to the University of Washington instead, I made money photographing live music for a local newspaper in Seattle's music scene, and it jump-started my career. At my first job interview at the Associated Press when I was 22, the editor told me it would be nearly impossible for me to be an overseas photojournalist. Within 2 years, I was doing it. One day in my career stands above the rest. On a lead up to a trip to South Africa in 2011, I was supposed to photograph Nelson Mandela, but it wasn't guaranteed. He was at the end of his life, his health wasn't good, and he hadn't been seen in public in over a year. I was in a delegation, and we toured the Apartheid Museum with his wife. As we concluded the tour, she told us today was a good day for the civil rights leader, and we would get to meet him. I was one of only a handful allowed to go in and the only one with a camera. It was a huge responsibility. As I waited outside in the van, I started sweating with fear and excitement. You know how people get asked if you could meet one person, who would that be? Well, he was my person. When an aide came out and told us that we'd have 1 minute with him at the most, not ideal. I asked her what the room was like so I could prep my camera settings. She said it was a very dark room, he was in bed, and he may be sitting up. Again, not ideal. She ushered us into the home. We were absolutely quiet, and the house was indeed very dark. Just then, the curtains were flung open, beautiful mid-morning African light flooded the room, and Mandela himself was sitting on the couch, beaming. As people fussed over him, I counted down from 60 seconds in my head and approached him with absolute anxiety. Luckily, I was hiding behind my camera, and the delegation had started to introduce themselves. After about 59 seconds, I realized I hadn't changed my camera settings since the van, amateur stuff. My hands trembled as I spun the dials and prayed that the first images had been exposed properly. As the swirl of people subsided, I realized I was getting more than a minute to photograph, and I relaxed and knelt down near him. Just for a moment, no one was talking to him, and he noticed me. We locked eyes, and I whispered, "Thank you." He nodded, smiled, and we were ushered out soon after. A lot of things led up to that moment. The photo workshop I took here in Rockport as a freshman, a Soviet fish processing plant in Penobscot Bay in 1987, where I got to meet Russian sailors at the height of the Cold War, and I decided I wanted to understand global politics. Mrs. Hills and Ms. O'Rear, middle school teachers, who gave me the confidence to work in a male-dominated field. And the ethical groundwork my grandmother had laid out for me, even though she died when I was 10, which led to an interest in social justice, and ultimately that moment, meeting Nelson Mandela. So thank you to the grandparents. I am of this town. To be honest, I left as soon as I could. At the time, it may have looked and felt like I was leaving something, but actually I was seeking something based on my experiences as a young person in this unique corner of the world. Inspiration, a moral compass, and the things that orient you are already in you. You will center yourselves in other places and people and experiences. You will be of those places too. And you possess this one forever, Midcoast, Maine, and the 18-year-old you. It will be the thing you grew from, maybe rose above. It's okay to mourn the places and the people that drag you backwards, but then release them. Don't hold too tightly to shame and regret. Grab onto the inspiration that pulls you toward the person that you want to be. Evolve, take the ride. It's like jumping into the lake on on a super hot day. It's what young adults do. We will be here lifting you up and cheering for 18-year-old you forever, even if you don't look back at us, but we hope you do. Thank you.
Kayla Ann Pease. Emmett Thomas Edge. Alice Linus Elizabeth Corcola. Isabella Hope Anderson. Catherine Marie Kunkel. Alejandra Virgilin Flores. Lola Acadia Taylor Kidd. Abigail Lee Jones. Tessa Elise Burns. Porter Ezekiel Dieter. Enzo Macaluso Diaz. Ava Gabriella McMillan. Nora Joy Gallant. Cadence Jolene Ankers. Camden Helen Kentakos. Lily Lee Gron-Ross.
Riley Anastasio Whitman. Bella Lola Lil. Harper Wynn Lily. Winona Olive Lincoln. Rose Lorelei Fishman. Matilda Caroline Schroeder. Alana Jude Allen. Aria Marie Dahl. Michaela Marie Jones. Linnea Margaret White. Kaylee Eva Gray. Tristan Marina Galvin. Carly Annette Tibbetts. Chloe Petals Burgess. Haley Ann Levangie. Corinne Leanna Prescott.
Leah Hillary Zawecker. Jordan Alexandra Space. Hannah Claire Levitt. Leah Isabel Snyder. Harper Hall Coburn. Skyla Elizabeth Dyer. Marin Michelle Kinney. Lydia Elizabeth Gurney. Landon Lee Marquis. Maxwell Robert Ogier. Corson Lynn Landfair. Anya Lucia Felton. Charlotte Rose Thackeray. Peyton Diamond Lombardo. Gavin Alexander Burgess. Tagwin Bartlett Hurst.
Miranda Lee Yarosis. Caroline Louisa Kern. Natalie Ann Hall. Jocelyn Layla Sari. Britta Lindestrand Denny. Isabella Rowan Burke. Brian Alex Gomez Castro. Abby Rose Anderson. Colby Francis Bennett. Charles Walker Nicolette. Fiona Arabelle Kelly. Piper Catherine Greenleaf. Scarlett Elena Miller. Rowan Elizabeth Mahoney. Coben Scott Bickford Seavey. Aiden James Greeley.
Ann Opal Burke. Emmeline Jane Walker. Kira Jade Kay. Gemma Rose Lasco Amundson. Caden Dodd. Leah Lynn Donaher. Grace Mary Westbrook. River Kyle Bell. Kylie. Thomas Reed Chester. Lakin Kale Fulbeck. Vincent Alexander Maynella. Bennett Logan Gardner. Elliot Michael Condon. Evan Joseph Constantine. Noah Leroy Teal. Andrew Joseph Collins.
Jack Fifield. Hattie Sawyer Moss. Charlotte Ruth Delahy. Margaret Grace Metzler. Piper Jean Uri. Griffin C. Neal. Amelia Snow Porter. Arthur W. Andrews. Rosabella Jane Vinci. Sally Zolman Vanini. Kelsey Jade Clayton. Bryce Wayne Curtis. Lulu Van Lonkhuizen. Heidi Cress Goodwin Winges. Mason Lewis Hendrick. Matthias William McPhail.
River Wyatt Pinkham. Natalie Regan Gill. Charlotte Nelson. Cassie Rhett Middleton. Nadir Leander Fekak. Arthur Atticus Hinch. Chase David Bragg. Isaac Brian Dutel. Declan McDonald Rogers. Natalie Sigsby Lindahl. Finn Cirrus Wickeden Emery. Benjamin Larson Pike. Eric R. Lear. Lindsay Ruth Clifford. Byron Sparhawk Pierce. William Connor Thorsell.
Landon Michael Pease. Connor Alton Pease. Emily Jane Reed. Tara Jane Morrison. Colby Anderson. Stanislav Chernopisky. Edith Moskowitz. Oliver Dwyer Sawitsky. Colin Michael Boar. Elias Richards Hood. Charles Babb Conover. Christopher J. Genthner. Gavin James Seveny. Hunter Roy Beveridge. Guinevere Antoinette Hustis. Matthew R. Mitchell.
Raina Ann Abbas. Audrey Louise Strong. Nathan Christensen. Rowan Malcolm Aldridge Peacock. Kingston Worthley Kibler. Carson Kieran James Lyon. Alexander Simeon McCafferty. Tobias Van Hoek. Gerardo Antonio Jose Miguel Martinez Rosa. Tula Rose Bradley Prindenville. Sage F. Burgess. Shahir Michael Lang Urbina. David Mather Stevenson. Violet Eileen Bourne. Alden Erickson Howard. Theodore Henry Dola.
Noah James Gilchrist. Ian F. Larson Levens. Lincoln Charles White. Walker David Hedrick. Michael Scott Rollins. Aveline Francis Fairhaven. Lucinda Grace O'Brien. Rose Eleanor Tohansen. Madeline Christine Tohansen. Abigail Joy Kolstrom. Cameron Stewart Pinchbeck. Henry Grant Richmond. Boston David Engas. Fisher Gail Thomas. Caden James Fowler. Connor Alexander Beal. Liven Roland Iserbeat. Evan Michael Lee Fossum. Levi Bowman Thomas. Trey Nicholas Freeman. And Tegan Thomas Lowe.
Wow, what an honor to be the first person to present our Silver Scholars, the class of 2025. Congratulations.
Good evening, faculty, family, friends, and my fellow graduates. Today is a day of reflection, celebration, and change. As the chapter of the class of 2025 is ending, the class of 2026's is just beginning. As the class of 2025 is moving on, past this school, past this phase of our lives, past our childhood, we turn to the class of 2026 to carry the torch forward. At the heart of today's transition is a moment of passage, where leadership, responsibility, and legacy are passed from one class to the next. At the center of this passage stands just one person, the incoming senior class president, Walter Field. Now that our senior class has moved on, we turn to you to lead not just your class, but to lead the whole school. Leadership isn't about titles or speeches. It's about showing up, leading by example, and being the strength in the storm. It's about leading with kindness and the courage to speak when it's easier to stay silent. It's about having the heart to care and the drive to do the right thing, even when nobody's watching. This school will look to you in this coming year, not for perfection, but for personal responsibility, respect, interdependence, drive, and empathy. Being a senior class officer is a lot of work, coming from someone who just experienced it. It's sometimes hard and unforgiving, but in the end, it's all worth it. So I encourage you to take this moment and step into it with an open mind. Remember to lean on your peers and consider everyone's perspectives when making decisions. Congratulations to Walter and the class of 2026. The future belongs to you now.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Matilda Schroeder. As we come to the end of this monumental day, I want to express my gratitude for your support, not only over the last 4 years, but for every moment leading up to it. We couldn't have made it this far without our friends and family, the amazing staff at this school, and most of all, the support of this community. Thank you to our parents for being our safety nets, for driving us home from late night activities, and for cheering us on through all our successes. Your endless mentorship and guidance has made all the difference. Thank you to the staff. Your patience and dedication have helped us become the students we are today. Teachers, custodians, secretaries, and counselors, each one of you has played a role in our growth here at Camden Hills. We are so grateful for you. Thank you to the community. It is remarkable how much empathy this community has. Throughout high school, I've seen how time and time again the community shows up to support our varied extracurricular activities in meaningful ways. From our annual National Honor Society Veterans Day breakfast to our recent very successful Ukrainian dinner, we can always count on the community to show up to support us. Thank you for coming to our sports games, theater performances, concerts, and art displays. Having you there to cheer us on has given us the confidence we needed to score the winning goal or to sing the perfect note. On behalf of the class of 2025, we look forward to seeing what's next, and we are grateful for Camden Hills Regional High School for helping us achieve this milestone. Congratulations, everyone. Good night.